Over the last 30 days, my business has done over $2.8 million collected. I wanted to give you 3 takeaways here that we have found in my business, so you can go on and implement that on your end. Keep in mind, no special launches, no new product launches, nothing new really. This is just more of the same. So we have a very stable and predictable business model. I run a portfolio business that does just about $30 million a year. And the main point here is that you don't need to be doing launches and running after new shiny objects all the time to get really good results. Let's dive right in. The first takeaway is hire first and then figure out. And so what I mean by that is over the last quarter, we have hired 2 very high-level executives, people who have run businesses in the past, who are entrepreneurs, but just don't want to run businesses themselves anymore for different personal reasons. They have families, young families, and they don't want to deal with the pressure that comes with payroll and hiring and managing. They want to step away. They stepped away from entrepreneurship and they're great recruits. At the moment right now, I don't know exactly where we're going to allocate those 2 people in the companies that I have, but talent is very rare. So you have to first recognize when talent is available, and sometimes you just need to hire people without really knowing exactly what they're doing. And sometimes you need to figure out what to put them on after a few days or a few weeks, because you will have ideas that come up once you find new people. And I've had throughout my business career a lot of situations where we hired someone who was very good, and through brainstorming sessions I then came up with an idea or a business model that would be very well suited for them to manage. So again, you don't need to have the position ready to start hiring. Sometimes it's fine to hire first and then put them onto something that you find productive. Takeaway number 2 is cutting ruthlessly. You have to be a very good capital and resource manager. Ultimately, being an entrepreneur is really about being an investor. You are allocating and investing time and money. Time is non-renewable. It's the number one resource, at least that's how I see it. Money, you can always make more money and renew money. The idea here is that you need to make sure that you allocate your time and your energy to projects and ventures that have potential today. And the way I see it is I have no problem cutting businesses, cutting teams, cutting and shelving entire projects if I don't believe in them or if the market changes. In the internet business, anything online based, things change very quickly. If the thesis you're using today is not valid anymore, that investment should not be on your books anymore. You need to adapt. If the weather changes, you need to change your outfit. If it rains, you need to get the umbrella out. We put aside several businesses that I had invested several $100,000s in, and that's all good. It's just part of the business process. And so maybe you're not at the level where you can shelve businesses where you've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars, but you need to make sure that you're not being emotionally tied and stuck to something, to an idea that was good maybe 6 months ago, but now the market has changed in a way where you were pursuing that venture isn't worth it anymore. Make sure to always look at what's happening today, not what you want to see happening. And so, like I said, when the weather changes, you have to change your outfit and get the umbrella out. Same thing in business. So again, we cut a lot of ventures. I cut entire teams. There's specifically a project where we invested close to $200,000 in that we scrapped completely just because the market changed. So make sure you're looking at what you're working on now and make sure the market hasn't changed. And if it has changed, you need to make sure that you actually adapt your strategy to the new changes. And saying no and cutting things is very positive. It just gives you more time to focus your time and money on things that have potential. I know a lot of people have trouble saying no, have trouble stopping things, something that I've really never had any issues with. And it's something that you should develop if you feel that you've in the past have spent too much time, too much money, that you've gotten emotionally attached to a project. Make sure that your emotions aren't dictating your investments. And the third takeaway is simply repeating what works. You know, a lot of people, especially young entrepreneurs and people who are involved in the online space, whether it's AI, crypto, tech, web design, whatever the case may be, everyone's chasing the new golden opportunity. The way I see it and the way I invest my time, my resources, and of course my team's time, because we have close to 100 people working across all my companies, is I want to make sure that we keep doing what's working. And if you've been an entrepreneur for any period of time, there's things that you've done that have worked well. I can guarantee that if you look into some of the campaigns you launched in the past, some of the pitches you've done, products you've sold, there's potential. You can definitely find things that you can relaunch and pretty much have guaranteed wins. Because what I found throughout my business career is that things that worked in the past usually keep on working in the future if you just adapt to how the market operates today. And so sometimes it's not a matter of coming up with something revolutionary and new and changing things. It's just simply doing more of the same. And for our business, getting the portfolio business approximately $30 million a year up to where I want to take it, which is over $100 million a year, it's not going to take anything revolutionary. It's just going to take doing more of the same. Acquiring businesses, which is the main business model that we use, acquiring businesses or acquiring brands, underperforming brands where I see potential, and then investing, marketing, advertising, social media, time, resources, money to build those brands up. It's basically just doing more of the same on my end. And so when everyone is going and chasing all these new opportunities left and right, I just basically tell my teams, let's just focus on what works and let's just grow. Instead of having 100 people that work across the companies, let's have 150, 200, 500, 1,000 people in the coming years. Doing more of the same generally will get you bigger results and also less stress. It's very peaceful. It's not just about making more money. It's also making money in a way that allows you to have a fun life, allows you to enjoy the day-to-day with the people you love. I don't want to be working on things that push me to have to get up at night to work on different time zones. I have zero interest in that. First of all, because I don't need the money, and because I'm in a position where I can really pick and choose what I want to do or not do. And doing more of the same, looking at what has worked for you in your business or in your life. If you're a musician, seeing what's worked in past competitions. If you're a pro athlete, seeing what's worked throughout your career and just replicating, going back to the basics. The basics generally give you better results than just all the sexy stuff that everyone wants to do, which is the new and shiny thing. They start a partnership, whatever the case may be. They just jump from one thing to the other, and you've seen those. Maybe you're one of those, right? And that's fine. You just have to recognize that it's time to stop. It's time to stop and focus. What I found is that oftentimes it's not actually the business idea. Everyone can come up with a business idea. You can find thousands of very viable business ideas online just by Googling good business ideas. The difference between taking a business from zero to hundreds of thousands a year, millions a year, maybe millions a month is the execution. How much focus are you going to be putting into that business? You could have started a pottery business. You could have started a landscaping business in 2015 and you would have made more money. You would have maybe 10 times more money than you have today just by focusing on one business for the last 5, 6, 10 years. So again, it's not about finding the new shiny opportunity. It's just stretching your time horizon. Instead of doing things for 3 months or 6 months, the way I see things is I only invest in things that will be around, that I think will be around in the next 3 to 6 years, 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now even. Again, stretching your time horizon will give you a lot more peace of mind because you don't need the business to hit and your first product to be a success. You can go through 2, 3, 5, 10 iterations of a project or a product or a service. Stretching your time horizon will give you a lot more peace of mind, and ultimately, the way I see business is it should contribute to your life. It's great to make money, but if you're always stressed out, what's the fucking point? Those are the 3 takeaways for this month, and I'll talk to you soon.